DeJuan, 4 assists, no turnovers, now 21 assists and 2 turnovers in ASUN play. Bernard with a season-high 4 steals, 7 in the last 2 games. Now he had 11 before that. And Eric, 5 offensive boards, is tied for the most by anybody this year. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach and open it up.
I thought to begin the game, I thought Upstate was the aggressor, and they sort of set the tone early and had us spread out. I thought when Key came in the second half, we were able to pressure the ball a little bit better and string some stops together. They went 5 for 7 their first 7 shots in the second half, and then from there I think they went 5 for 19 or something. I didn't see the exact math, but I thought we were able to get some stops to get us going, and then offensively we were able to get out and run a little bit, which helped us.
Did you make any adjustments? I asked Eddie, and he said, no, it was kind of the same thing, just about more intensity, and they're allowing you guys to play tonight.
Mm-hmm. I thought that both teams, I thought we got some shots to go down in the second half at clutch times and some free throws. I thought one of the things was we were able to get to the free throw line, especially in the second half, which is we were in the bonus early in the half, which I thought really benefited us, and we kept them out of the bonus until the latter part of the half, which I thought was really, which we thought helped us.
What did you say at halftime? It was a totally different team in the second half.
No, we didn't defend and shot 50% in the first half, and we thought that we didn't play well, and we missed some shots. I mean, even throughout the second half we had some shots, but we let Green and Craig get going, and we talked about not getting those guys. I thought, and Bernard and Brett, and I thought DeJuan was spectacular on defense. I thought he was a major bonus to us, and I thought also Chase established himself in the post and driving the ball and making some plays also.
You had Brett on Torrey Craig for a lot of the game. What was the rationale behind matching up that way?
We try to put our better defenders on our better offensive players, and he's one of the best offensive players, and we think Brett has the toughness, and sometimes with a bigger guy, try to get underneath him and allow him to try to pressure the ball a little bit more. Same thing with we had Bernard on Green, and we flipped those guys around some.
Do you put Brett on the best perimeter offensive player a lot?
Depending upon matchups.
Chase, I thought a really good illustration of how defense turns into offense and how the offense thrives on the defense was when McKnight had the block on the Maxey Stuff attempt. Then Brett misses a 3, and you come in with a reverse follow slam. Does that kind of illustrate how much defense is important to you guys and how it really helps you guys get rolling?
Definitely. Whenever you're able to get stops like that, you're able to push the ball back at them and run. And that's when we're at probably our best aspect offensively is when we're in the open court. And McKnight had an amazing block on Max, who's a great athlete. Met him at his peak, and then Brett got out, and I just tried to follow it up. But yeah, when we get stops on defense, we're at our best. We're able to run in transition.
Did you see that play setting up? You kind of slammed it on Brett a little bit on the reverse follow.
Anytime we're in a fast break, I try to trail, and if I see a shot going up, I try to crash the offensive glass. But I guess I saw that had a pretty good amount of guys running without looking at me, so I had a pretty clear shot to it and just happened to come off in the right place.
And early in the second half, Brett hit a three-pointer, and then you had a three-point play right after that. Were those 2 plays just key sparks for you guys to get a lot going that you needed?
Well, yeah, I think 3-point plays on offense are always really big sparks, especially when they're back-to-back like that. And when we're able to get Brett going, when he's shooting well from the 3-point line, it's really hard to guard him because you have to respect it, and he'd go by people anytime. But to get back-to-back 3-point plays is big.
So you guys seemed so, patient when you were down double digits and you never, pressed too hard. How much of that is just experience, knowing, how to handle those situations?
I think a lot of it. We've been in a lot of different situations now. Coaches talked about Brett and Bernard have played as many minutes as anybody in the country for juniors. I've played a lot of games, so we're very experienced, and we know there's no 10-point play. So it's in games like that, especially in conference, you're going to have to grind it out, and you're going to have to slowly work back into it, and it's going to have to start on the defensive end.
Bernard, 4 steals tonight. That's 7 in your last couple of games. Is it your ankle coming back? Your timing coming back? What's going on there? You're really getting after it now.
Just being aggressive on defensive end, playing high on the floor like Coach teaches us, and I'm just using my length, trying to tip balls away. If I can get it, I go get it. Just trying to be solid. Just playing hard defense, really. Just putting my hands where I need to be, having high hands, keeping my length in there. And just running through the passing lanes, trying to get steals if I can. That's all I'm doing.
Were you guys kind of mad at yourself defensively at halftime?
Yeah, definitely. We didn't really have any energy, like Coach said. We didn't have no energy coming out during the game. And you could see it. So, there was no momentum that we could pick up or nothing. So we just had to step it up coming to the second half and we picked it up from there.
You had that key steal on Ty Green right after he made a couple 3-pointers. Were you phased at all? He was just hitting shots regardless, and you came right back and knocked the ball away from him, and he fouled you when you were trying to get out. That was a key moment, it seems like.
Coach said he was going to make tough shots. I was just trying to be there on contest. And he just put the ball in front of me. I gambled a little bit, and it just slipped out of his hands, and I took it from there.
Joe, Bernard's defense on Green, was that a key part of it?
Good job. I mean, and when you have guys like he and Green, they're going to make tough shots, and that's just not to get frustrated. I mean, you had the one where he jumps up and you got a pretty good contest, and the key is not continuing to let them get on a roll, but they got off to a good start, which got their confidence going. I thought towards the latter part of the game we gave up less good looks, and they had some shots. We got better contest and not as much freedom.
Joe Eddie said that they keyed trying to stop Brett from getting any assists, but still he energized the team. I mean, it seemed like his threes was kind of what brought you back.
I think one of the things with, it was on the board before the game, let's take what they give us. And, we can't predetermine different people. Someone might say, let's take Bernard out of the game, or let's take Chase out of the game. Now those other guys have to step up, and the person that's being focused on needs to make plays to help us win and do other things. And he didn't have an assist, but I thought his 3-point shots got us going, and I thought just him being aggressive. You're still going to guard him, which opens the floor up for everybody. And sometimes even if he didn't get an assist, him driving and kicking it forces closeouts, which lets other guys do their job.
Joe, what's the prognosis on Brett?
We're going to evaluate tomorrow, and we'll know more tomorrow. But like I said, initially,
first thing he said, I was like the media. I didn't understand what he said, so he explained that it was a broken nose with the second part.
How concerned are you? Obviously you've got a game coming up right away after that. I mean, if he's gonna, who knows what's gonna, how bad it's gonna be. If it's the nose, he might be just fine.
We'll see what the doctors say, and then we're going to show up until we got to show up. That's what we're going to do, and we've done it. From Bernard was out for a little bit. We've had guys out, and we'll show up tomorrow. We'll practice, and if he's ready to go, he'll go. And if not, we'll line him and play with Dwan will step up, and we'll use Kevin and move Bernard to the point a little bit, and we'll play.
And generally, a broken nose doesn't keep players out for at least very long.
We don't know. We'll see what the doctors say, and I don't know all the.
You got a whole day and a half to enjoy this, maybe. Well, actually, about another 7 minutes probably. Yeah, you got East Tennessee's got State coming in here. Your thoughts on them, and continuing to hold serve at home.
I think watching them, I think they've done a good job. Obviously, they're playing quite a bit of zone. Very athletic. I thought that they've done a very good job of driving the ball. They can score in the post, spread you out, the 4-man, a lot of pick and pop situations. I think the biggest thing is they do spread the floor on you, and we got to be ready to guard and rebound the ball against them also.
4 guys averaging in double figures.
Great balance, good with they spread you out, they shoot the 3 very well. They played quite a bit of zone. They played quite a bit of zone. I don't know what they did tonight. They played quite a bit of zone at Mercer, but I think we'll see a lot of that.
Hey, Coach, you guys spent a lot of time on the floor, at least in my eyes, from watching you play. Were you pleased with the hustle? I mean, there was a lot of time on the floor for you guys. I thought
it was a gutsy effort. I thought the guys did a great job going after. One of the big things, and especially in not in every game, are 50-50 balls. When there's no one has possession, and I think guys are realizing that that one possession here, one possession there, is a big deal. It's not. That's just one possession. Every possession is valuable. It's a 3-point game. So how many times do you steal an extra possession? How many times do you get an extra chance to shoot it, or an extra chance? I think the same thing with us not turning the ball over a ton on the season so far. Those are all extra possessions that give you shots.
Chase, very critical to hold serve at home in a conference. You really can't afford to lose, any games, but, no more than 1 or whatever. ETSU comes in here in a day and a half. A little bit of a slow start tonight. I would imagine that you guys will be ready to bust out of the gate Saturday and really come out and attack off the bat.
I think we definitely will be ready to. Second half, we flipped it, and we're going to try to continue and build off the way we played in the second half. And ETSU is a team that historically they play very hard. They're very physical, and as Coach said, they're very athletic. So energy is going to be a big part of the game.
Coach, there's a lot of conference games left, but how important is the #1 seed in the tournament? Is it something the team wants because they didn't get it last year, or is it something that really gives you an advantage in the tournament?
I think a couple of things. If your goal before the season isn't to win the conference, the regular season, then you shouldn't be playing. I mean, that's the goal, and I think obviously it gives you a home court advantage. We haven't talked about it, but let's worry about the next one, because if we can't control what everybody else does. We can only control what we do. So that's what we've tried to focus on.
Chase, does this win say something about you guys as a team tonight, the level of fight that it showed?
Yeah, I think just grinding it out showed that we can win close games. We were able to grind it out when we need to. We were able to make free throws tonight, which we've been picking up lately, but we kind of struggled earlier with. And we were able to, again, pull another win out. That was a kind of a grinded out game.
And the quality of the opponent, too?
Yeah, I mean, USC-Upstate's a great team. Had a chance to beat Mercer at Mercer. They've dropped a couple, but they're still very talented. Torrey Craig, Ty Green, great players. Even Ricardo Glenn. I think he ended up getting his 1,000 point tonight. So in that game, there's 5 players with 1,000 points in their career, and 2 of them being juniors. So the talent is high in every game with us and them, and to pull a game out over them is very important.
Chase, can you talk about Brett's determination and his heart? I noticed at one time, after he hit the 3, you guys were kind of talking like, okay, we're going to get this.
He plays so hard, and he's so emotional when he plays. So when he gets going like that, you can see it. And he has a look in his eye, especially when you see him in the open court. He's just going. He's one of the toughest kids. So when he gets going from the 3-point line, we've played a lot of games together. Bernard as well. Like, there's a connection with us. We really are a family, so we care about each other. And you see those looks that Brett's giving, and you start getting excited with him.
So how about you, Bernard? Same thing?
Same thing. Brett's a competitor. He likes to compete. And you can just see how he pours his heart out on the floor. And he just pushes you, wants to energize you up, try to have his back with anything coming.
Chase, second largest crowd, and how was that a big factor when you guys were down 10? You guys could have easily just stopped there. Was that a big factor in like working back into the game and eventually taking the lead?
Yeah, the crowd was great. They were able to stay behind us. Even when we fell back, they were able to give us another source of energy. We don't want to become reliant on that, but we've had great crowds at home all year, and it's a huge honor to play in front of a crowd like that. So that's great, but they were able to give us a push when we needed it, and yeah, they were a big part of the game tonight.
Hey, Coach, you talked about Graff earlier. He's kind of becoming like an unsung hero, at least from what I see. You know, I may not be the best vision of your team, but it seems like he's getting more and more minutes, and you're playing them a little bit in more key situations. Talk about his overall play.
And Chase would attest to this. Like, we wish he would be almost even more aggressive offensively. I think, you know, when you look at his assist turnover ratio, especially on the season, but even more in the league, it's been outstanding. And then, you know, he shot the ball well this year. He begged one home early in the first half, but he shot the ball better. And I'll tell you what he did tonight was he defended. He had one little blip, but he was in position. He limited catches. You know, it's a novel idea, but sometimes if you don't let the guy catch the ball, you can't shoot it. And he did a good job of not allowing the ball to get reversed. And those are little things. He's played very, very, very well.
First technical for you at FGCU?
Yeah.
Third in 26 years.
Just a reflection on the competitiveness
Didn't look particularly
of the game.
demonstrative over there or anything.
Yeah, but every possession counts. Remember?
Every possession counts.
A reflection just on the competitiveness of the game.
I mean, I wasn't happy, obviously, with the call or non-call, so.
A reflection a bit on the Ty Green Bernard drive there.
I can't comment.
Also didn't hurt to maybe energize the team that looked a little flat.
We were a little flat, and that's something we talked about, and I think that's one of the things that we have to continue to police. We have to police ourselves in those type of things, and I think the guys have done a better job. Our effort in practice the last 3 weeks has been very, very good on a consistent basis, and now we need to parlay that or carry that over into making sure that we get good starts.